It's so easy as a parent to give up control of your day for your children, to focus so much on them that you forget that you're the one who's leading them. And they're looking to you where they're going to go and how they're going to get there and who they get to do it with. And we become, in a sense, disoriented with the busyness of reality around us. There's a mess, there's a diaper to change, there's an accident, there's a spill, someone gets hurt, gets a boo-boo. And those things control us. And I'm only saying this because I've been there. It's so easy to live there, to live so in the moment that you lose track of yourself, your goals, your identity, and where you actually want to go. You know, if you're on a journey and you don't know where you're going, you will get there. But if you know where you want to go, but you don't know where you're going, you won't get there. Okay, so goals and clarity are incredibly important. We're not on a ramble when it comes to raising our children or our own lives. We hopefully have purpose and have direction, and we need guidance. And a lot of that guidance is just going to come from the clarity of you actually being upfront and honest about who you are and what you want. It's so important. And I think a lot of times we forget it. Like we just forget that it's okay and important to say who we are and what we want. So, how do we not fall into the trap of deferring control, not just to our children, but to the busyness of life, to the chaos of the home? Well, yes, it's setting a goal, setting an end goal of where we want to go, but it's controlling the things that you can control so that you're not controlled by the things that you can't control. What are the things that you can control? I'm saying things, but really it's just one. You can control you. You can control when you wake up. You can control when you go to bed. You can control what you eat. You can control how you think, what you focus on, what you meditate on. You can control what makes you angry, and you can control what doesn't. If we become in the habit of giving up control of our day, of our schedule, of our emotions, then those things are going to continue to snowball and just roll right over us. Your children need you to be in control because if you aren't, they will try to take control because control gives a sense of security. There needs to be control displayed, modeled, showing that everything's going to be okay. And again, if you as a parent don't make it crystal clear that you are in control and you have control and you're going to take them where they need to go, they're going to start acting out, speaking out, trying to figure out like how they can grab that security that they ultimately need. And so you'll get into these power struggles for control simply because you haven't seized it and you're not guiding them. And this doesn't mean you're a bad parent. It doesn't mean you're malicious. What it does mean is because there's a lack of clarity and focus and direction, everybody's scattering into their own thoughts and their own directions. And it's not helpful towards reaching your goals. So I focus on helping parents with homeschooling, right? But homeschooling for me is a vehicle to help you become the best version of yourself so that your child can become the best version of themselves. I say it all the time. I'm going to say it again. Your children cannot like fill themselves, not easily, especially when they're young. They are going to receive the overflow of your cup. So if you are running on empty all the time, your children will run on empty, which means you need to work on you, pour into yourself, because the best version of you is directly correlated to the best version of your children. Have a full cup and give your children full cups, which means that we actually have to do things to help ourselves become better. Again, you can control when you wake up. You can control when you go to bed. You can control how much screen time you're using, when you're scrolling, if you're being proactive in accomplishing something or attacking a goal that you want to see reached, or if you're just doing what is the most convenient, what is the most entertaining, what is the most expedient, right? The right way, the best way is forward. And sometimes we just need to start taking steps in the right direction. So I would encourage every parent to at least choose a direction. Do you know where you're going? Do you know where you want to take your family? Have you thought about it? I don't fault you if you don't, or if you haven't, because most people never do. But you don't have to be most people, and you don't want your children to be most people. You're a unique individual made in the image of God who has ability and purpose to do something and to go somewhere. Are you going to use it, or are you going to squander it? You have talents and abilities. Are you going to use them, or are you going to squander them? It would be easy to squander them. That's what most people do. Society won't fault you for that. It encourages you to do that. But do you want to simply run through the tide at wherever it washes you, like just floating along? Or do you want to go against a current of culture, of norms, and rise above something to become a better version of you? It creates a better version of your children. It creates a better version of your family and gets to influence a better version of society, even if it's just this one little pocket. There's so much potential. So let's not waste it. Let's not squander it. What can you do right now to change the direction of your family forever? Set a habit. Set a habit that you know for a fact, if I do this for a month, 30 days, I will be a better version of me. And if I'm a better version of me, I will be enabled to help my children become a better version of them. And that's what we want, right? So that's why when I talk to homeschool parents, I want you to help your children become a better version of them. That is a part of their education. That might be the part of their education, right? All of the materials and the subjects are just supporting that overall effort to some degree. It really doesn't matter what you study because there are a lot of different roads to reaching those same objectives. But if you're just going through the motions and doing it because you have to, then life is controlling you, not you controlling the direction of your life. Here's the reality. And I lived in this reality for a long time, of having a fixed mindset where I don't have a determining factor or the determining factor in where I'm going and who I'm becoming. Life was happening to me, and there was nothing I could do about it. My family is poor because, well, we've always been poor. We're in a different strata of life. We don't have the same resources as other people. We didn't have the same opportunities as other people. So this is who we are. That's how my family has thought for generations. But that's not true. The things that I do directly influence my outcomes. And no previous circumstance or present circumstance has to or gets to control where I'm going. That's so true for you too. You don't have to be controlled by your thoughts, by your past, or by your present. If you're not where you want to be, you can do things right now, this moment, to get you closer to where you'd like to be. And getting closer to that simply means that you're closing the gap between the past that you resent or are fleeing and the future that you hope for. You're closing the gap. And as you get closer, new hopes and new opportunities will come. So we have to make a pivot. As parents, we have to make a pivot. Where do we want to go? What are the things that are going to help me get there? Do something today for 30 days. I will wake up before my children every morning for an hour and meditate, read God's word, focus, get a plan, write out my calendar, right? How could you use that time where there's no distractions, where there's clarity, where there's silence to focus, to get direction, to fill your cup so that what? You can fill your children's cup so that you can pour into them. Right? A lot of people say, I love my child. I do anything for my child. You know, I'll make sacrifices for my child. And yet, the things that you can actually do that will have the greatest influence on your child's life, you neglect to do. This is what most people do. So just my encouragement. Don't be most people. Rise very easily above the mainstream by not doing what most people do. Discipline yourself. Take care of your body. Take care of your mind. Right? Set goals. Pursue something. Fail. Fail willingly. Admit it. Talk about it. Learn from it. Fail upward. Right? A lot of people fail in such a way where they don't learn anything, they don't glean anything, they become more bitter, more fixed, more resentful. Our failures don't have to be failures if they are instructive, right? This is what I encourage children in the classroom, in the home, in education. Your failure is you repenting of the things that you didn't know and turning towards a new and better way, right? If you fail on a math test because you got something wrong, you either are dumb and you didn't get it right and so you're a failure, or, oh wow, I got 40% of these right, and these 60% I need to focus on. It just brings you clarity. I didn't know these, and so I should work harder. Or I didn't study, and it shows, right? Whatever it is, you can address the issue that created the failure and move closer towards the goal. It's true for us as parents too. Man, I got through the entire day, and I don't know what happened. Like, what did I do? I don't know. And then you look at your phone and it gives you stats about what apps you were using. You're like, ooh, I don't feel good about that. Why? Because those are the things that are happening to you rather than you taking control of who you are, where you're going, and how you're going to get there. So today, write out a plan for who you are, or maybe who you want to be, where you're going, or where you'd like to be going, and how you're going to get there. Your goals may not be the perfect aim on your first try, but more than likely, they're going closer towards the where you want to be. And if that's the case, you can tune them, you can refine them. Remember, we're not fixed. You're not fixed. You don't have to stay who you are, where you are right now. It can get better. All right. So as you, let's say as a parent, you're creating an education for your children. Educate yourself. Don't just put information into their brains. Learn with them. And learn in a targeted and specific way. Learn about the things that will help you become the better version of yourself, while you also learn with your children about the things that help them become the better version of themselves. And that might be a skill. It might be algebra, a particular thing, right? That's going to help them overcome a challenge and reach a goal. Or it might be a behavior. It might be an attitude shift. It might be the language that we're going to reframe that's going to help us have better relationships with within the people, with the people within our household, right? Whatever it is, let's start identifying, targeting, focusing, and moving closer towards something. Yes, it's going to be a better home. You're going to be a better you. And your children, the beneficiaries of the best you possible, are going to grow. They're going to flourish. And they're finally going to have a model and an example that they can look to see, I have control of my life. It's not fixed. I get to choose where I'm going and how I'm going to get there. And when things don't go right, that doesn't mean that everything's ruined. I can learn from that and I can continue to move forward. If you were to give your children that mindset, wouldn't that change everything? What kind of person would they become if, when faced with trials and crisis and challenges, not only did they not give up, they expressed gratitude and gratefulness because they knew they had something they needed to learn, which they could get from this experience, which is going to take them closer toward their goals. This is true for everything. Be that person for your child, and your child will one day be able to be that person for the world.